We are live, coming here with a brand new BMFEP Stir the Pod episode, and it's just us two. I mean, what is going on? I thought the definition of the season 40, was all in, but just two of us here again tonight. What else is new? The BMFEP crew back at it again, holding the fort down. But we're here. Another Stir the Pod episode 9 recap show. I'm fired up tonight, Alex. I feel like this is going to have old school vibes tonight. It is just me and you playing tennis. I mean, like Ryan McCord already in the chat says, the good old days on the pod. I mean, not this new era, Andy's like an Are You the One-esque person, but we're here. Episode 9. I'm fired up. The last 15 minutes of that episode, I went from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. I am all in. Alex, thoughts?
I mean, Trev, what an amazing intro there. I was already fired up, and now I'm even more fired up. I thought tonight's episode was one of the best of the whole season. Like, in a weird way, there wasn't a lot that went on aside from like the twist and the stuff with Era 1 winning. But like you said, I'm just fired up because I feel like we're at episode 9 now. We had a lot of excitement for the season, before it started, as it started. Some good episodes to get us started in the season. We had kind of a little lull there. I don't know if we'll have a second lull or not, but I feel like these last two episodes, especially tonight, we saw after the episode, they did kind of the mid-season trailer, which was awesome. And we just got a lot going here. And like you said, it's just the two of us tonight. It's kind of like, the season is called Battle of the Eras. It's kind of like this era is the BMFE era. And all of our old school listeners know what that era is all about. We might have some throwback segments later tonight. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed tonight's episode. I loved it. And I'm excited for the pod tonight.
No, I think out of all the people, all the co-hosts, obviously I was on the all out meter. Like I wasn't all out. Wasn't all out. I was slowly going down the decline. I'm all the way back now, and it's a dirty game. It's free agents now, and I'm so pumped. I almost don't even want to talk about the first 45 minutes of this episode. I really just want to talk about the end and now how this game has completely changed, and we could just go off the rails in a million different directions with this. I'm just so fired up. Oh, I'm itching to talk. Mikey Doctor writes, is this chaos, control, or conquest? I think this is just chaos now.
Yeah.
I think we're going back to the roots, but I'm fired up. Ooh, Alex, I don't think we've been this excited in so long. I'm giddy.
I know. I think we could do like a 30-minute podcast outside of this, just breaking down this season on what's still to come. It was awesome.
I think right now, like Alex, like seriously, somebody's got to get a Photoshop of us. Like what's it? Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie Day, like, with the theories and stuff. That's how I feel right now. My brain is going so many different directions, and I'm just like, oh, dude, let's just dive right in. Let's just go right in. Episode 9 recap. Let's start from the beginning. We kind of start off with a tradition unlike any other. The streak. I mean, are we on episode 4 now? 5 in a row of the streak?
Well, we ended up getting the double streak, so I think we just say 5.
The double streak is very like blue moon-esque, like very rare. The eclipse, solar eclipse, whatever you want to call it. Get the sunglasses out. Like I'm like I can't believe we got the streak and then a second streak within the streak. There's no way we can get another streak at the start of the next episode because it kind of bled into the end of tonight's episode with the double streak.
Yeah, you're right. So technically, I guess the streak might end next week.
Is there any chance they just reuse that clip again?
I would not put anything past these producers.
I mean, they're just lazy. They just want to chop it up real quick and get her done. So we'll see what they do. But the beginning, they kind of go around the house. Not really much happens, and we go straight into the daily, which this is one of the most interesting dailies of all time, where I think this was a challenge And I know we've been joking about it all year, how they just make up shit on the fly, but I really think this daily with one person is so much easier than having 7 or 8 or whatever the
Oh
numbers
yeah.
are. So, let's talk about the daily first. Daily, we have these math problems where it's just on a rotation and you have to solve as many, which in reality, did it really do anything? Like, I felt like that was pointless.
What, the rotating?
Yeah, it was but the number that you get correct of these math problems, you get, what's it called? Um, those little pegs, like the rock climbing pegs.
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. I think my strategy would have been just have one person go up and stack like all the pegs next to each other. Was that allowed?
But I think they did it based on like average time per person.
What do you mean?
That I think they did. So like in theory, if you wanted your team to go the longest, yeah, you could say this person is going to hog up like 4 of the, our team's pegs. But I think they did it based on like average per person. So if like 2 people went out right away, that killed their averages.
Oh, is that what they did? I thought it was just the whoever did it the longest.
I don't really know.
So I thought like Nehemiah was like second. That's what I thought.
I mean, you're right. It might have been. So Rachel outlasted every single other person on the cast then?
Yes, she was the longest at 14 minutes.
Okay.
So, like I said, the pegs, you're answering these math problems, 27 math problems, and then essentially the number that you get correct, you get the number of pegs for. But when Rachel only gets 7, it's just her. So there's 7 pegs for just her. And then, 17 for like 7 people or whatever. And then, I already see in the chat, like, I don't think we've ever seen this, something above water. So they're in these like storage containers. And I think didn't Adam Mito say that like episode 1 or something where they were like very unsafe and they had to reshoot the intro like multiple times with the right? The storage containers?
Yeah, well, they like had those storage containers on like trucks, and the
Yeah.
cast was like, jumping out of them and like doing their intros. And I guess like production was like I mean, just doing production shit where they weren't ready, and so it took longer than expected, and it was like 100 degrees inside the truck. So if you watch it and you see them coming out, they're all just like drenched in sweat.
Smurf City, just trying to kill them. So, they're all hanging up there and it's basically hang on for dear life, essentially.
So did you like the daily or no?
I just thought it was interesting. Like, it was very weird. I think it showed, I'm already seeing in the chat, Tommy Tsunami, welcome back. Rachel's just a beast.
Yeah,
Like,
she's the beast.
she's the beast.
Yeah, I kind of like this daily. I mean, really, I guess what gives it a thumbs up for me is like the fact that Era One did finally win. I would have preferred to see them win when they had 2 or 3 or 4 people instead of just like one single person. But this was something that they had a chance in. I mean, we talked about it last week, right, with the Gladiator Daily. Like Derek and Rachel, there was no way they could have won. There were like just the way they scored it and the way the rules and everything, like there was physically impossible for them to win. And so I'm glad that Rachel won. And then anytime you get these idiots doing math problems, like the simplest math problems, 20 plus 10 minus 10, like that was the type of shit that we had. And the thing is, yes, it was smirky to watch them do it, but like someone like Corey, for instance, he had 4 other people on his team, so like he didn't have to do it, anything.
No.
He was able to let like Devin and Jordan like do the math, and I feel like when we talk about this type of thing with these clowns, like it's funny hearing them try to solve it. I mean, I did hear tonight when they were going through the rotating math problems, the first time it got to the square root symbol, I think it was square root of 36, and you just heard the whole cast go, "Whoa!" Like they did not know. They literally didn't know what that meant.
They thought it was a different language or something. Like they were like, "Teach, like, is something wrong with the board?" Like,
yeah, it reminded me of when Corey thought that number of triangles was like in the letter A. Like that was the type of reaction they had, but that was kind of the best example of that we got tonight. Like for the most part, the math was just going on. They had like one semi-smart person per team doing the math every time. Um, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that we got a little shake up in the winners here.
Yeah, I mean, some of the performances tonight I wanna talk about in the daily. I mean, Theo dropping like a fly right out of the gate. Josh cheating. I mean, come on. Like, he was literally standing, like, on the storage container corner. I mean, friend of the program. But are you that dumb?
It's kind of smart.
God. I would expect something from Bananas like that, but come on, Josh. I'm trying to think of any other smirky performances tonight from people. I mean, unbelievable performance. You see so many people fall, in the first 2 minutes. The fact Jordan was up there for 4 minutes with one hand, I
Yeah.
mean, come on. I mean, that's just insane. But like we talked about, Rachel picking up the dub, huge, huge win for her. And Era 3, finishing in last place. So, were we surprised Era 3 going in or no?
Um, I feel like this was just a bad daily for them because if it was, which I think you're right, I think it was like the person on each team who did the best.
Mhm.
If you knew that going into this daily, I feel like Era 3, it just doesn't line up with their strengths. Like
Yeah.
Corey is like a strong, quick guy. He's not meant to like stay still and like hang on to something. Jordan is amazing at everything, but he has one hand. Devin is like a smart guy. Like I just think that team, those 5 people that they had, are good at a lot of shit, like collectively. Not so much something like this. Rachel is obviously super strong. Nehemiah was the main person for Era 2. And even like, for Era 2, you're like, all right, Nehemiah can do this. Laurel did it really well. Kara, Bananas, like they have plenty of shots to kind of outlast the other teams. If you're looking at Era 3, you're probably honestly thinking like our best shot probably is Jordan, even though he has one hand. And
Yeah.
when it's not him and it's Devin, like I just think it was just a bad daily for them.
Yeah. I think Era 2, Nehemiah, huge MVP for
Yeah,
that team. Like, he did very well, especially when I mean, I feel like most of the guys in that era dropped in the first 2 minutes. I know Bananas fell at 90 seconds, Ryan fell pretty early. So even Derek, I think Derek fell right out of the gate too. Derek fell right out of the gate.
Aviv
Cara
fell.
was
Yeah,
yeah, like everybody was dropping pretty early. I think it basically was down to Laurel and Nehemiah for that. And shout out him. I mean, he stepped it up, and that was a very must win for Era 2. Well, I shouldn't say must win, but not finish last place
yeah,
essentially because with Rachel winning, and we can kind of start to jump ahead a little bit, but like Era 1, Era 2, I mean, they're clearly working together at this point. Era 3 and Era 4 are clearly working together. And what Rachel did tonight, I mean, it was the right move on paper. I think so. So,
yeah. And I mean, I was like, I don't know about you, but I was happy to see Era 1 win because
absolutely.
I was like, because really what screwed them is the fact that on most of the dailies, not only are they not winning, they haven't won any, but they were getting last.
Yeah.
So they're just making them an easy target. So like going into this, because it was like kind of a weird, not normal thing where you're not at a disadvantage if you have less people. I was hoping that Era 1, I should just say Rachel. I was hoping that Rachel like at least wouldn't get last,
Yeah.
that somebody else could maybe do something. And basically, what we were hoping for, I feel like, was Era 1 and 2. One of them has to win, the other one has to not get last to get
Correct.
the outcome that we got. And then when TJ says that Rachel won, then it's just like an even bigger shakeup because that era hasn't been in charge the entire time. And we're on
Yeah.
episode 9.
Yeah. So I also think with this move, I also think how trying to word this correctly.
Oh, God.
Well, I just don't understand production if Era 1 would have finished last and
Yeah,
Rachel gone home, like, are we only getting 1 elimination tonight?
that's a great point, and I was gonna bring that up. Is this was kind of Era One winning was really the only outcome where we could kind of ignore the fact that there's no guys left on Era One. Because, like, to your point, if Era One, let's say they get last place and Era Two wins instead, for the girls, it's pretty straightforward still, right? Like,
Mhm,
Laurel was the target, so Laurel would decide either Tori or Casey goes against Rachel. But for the
mhm.
guys, is there a guys elimination? Does that mean the other two guys go straight into it? Like, we never TJ didn't even explain it before the daily, like what would happen.
Yeah,
And I guess now knowing the twist, like we'll never have to know.
yeah, and this brings me back to my point earlier and, like, all season, production just making the shit up on the go and knowing Rachel is a rock climber and let's give her a layup. Like, the math means absolutely nothing. All Rachel had to do was get 2 math problems right, or 3, I guess, 1 for the hand and left and right foot, and she's fine. Like,
Yeah, and I think she had four. I think she had two hands.
yeah, or whatever. No, she had 7 total, but realistically, all you need is 3 for her, like, and that's what I'm saying, like, they're just like, "All right, well," like, I'm just picturing, like, last episode when Derek goes home, they're just like, "All right, everyone, team meeting. How can we make Rachel win this?" And then they're like, let's just use the old, tanks or whatever, the storage containers, and let's just, start drilling some of these handrails, like, into them and stuff." And there's, like, interns just bzz, bzz, just putting, this stuff on the wall. Like, that's what I'm just picturing them doing, but
Yeah, I mean, I they should have rigged Era One to win. I feel like a few episodes ago.
no, I agree.
They
I
did.
wish it would have been more. Continue, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there should have been a more of a team dynamic with Era One. Now it's just one person. Um, but nonetheless, I think they might have done some chicanery. I don't think it's a coincidence that Era One went first. Maybe she had some glue on the inside of those things that she pulled out with her. Who knows? But I was excited to see Rachel get the win.
Some spider tack. They had to
Yes.
they had to check everywhere. So yeah, Era 1 picking up the win, and after that, Era 3 finishing last. Then we kinda go to the club. Well, welcome back, club. Um, and at the club, there's not, like, a lot of action, more of just kinda the behind the scenes of politicking. You obviously have, who was it? Devin's talking to everybody saying, "Oh, I want Bananas out of this house," which it's so funny how, like, Bananas is just always on Devin's mind. The amount of real estate, I mean, he literally has what? Probably a mansion in Devin's head. Like, it is kinda crazy how much real estate he has. But what do we think about Josh's performance with the whole, "Hey, you talk to Rachel, you're your best you guys are all buddy buddy and stuff." Do you think Josh kinda got screwed by his team here or what?
Yeah. I mean, I think I felt bad for Josh this episode, and I really hate this fucking Vacation Alliance. I hate everybody in it. I hate the fact that they call themselves the Vacation Alliance. And this episode, they basically had Josh was like their punching bag
Yeah.
because they were all, up for elimination. The only one that wasn't was Josh. And like, so what? You want Josh to go up to Rachel, like out of your little stupid group, like he's the only one who's friends with her. He's the only one that's actually like made an effort to get to know her. None of them have. They've all just been, butt buddies between Era 3 and Era 4. And so they're just like using him as a scapegoat. And now I'm glad that like half of that group is gone at the end of this episode. But yeah, I kind of felt bad for Josh.
Yeah. I did too. I think Josh, just because you're friends with somebody doesn't mean, like, especially when you're not in the elimination, it would have been real interesting if Josh was flipped with Kylan, right? Yes, that could have happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. if that move would have happened, if Rachel would have saved Josh or saved
Yeah.
like the era 2. And that would have been more interesting, I think.
Yeah.
But she had no like just because you're friends with somebody on your team, and let's be real, era 1 was thrown in how many times by era 4? So it's like, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It makes no sense. And then like they, the era 4 was like, we Rachel, you should save us because then era 3 and era 4, we're gonna look out for you. Like, wait a minute, there's like a dozen people in your two fucking teams combined. Like, how are you gonna figure out a way to also save Rachel? And Rachel you're deciding between two teams. That's what it's been all season. You're deciding between two pairs of people that are up for elimination. And one of them, Ryan, is not only like one of her closest friends in the house, but also the other team that you have an option to send in era 4 is best friends with the team that's going in. It's like challenge 101. You send in the alliances against each other and you don't fall for any of their shit unless the person calling the shot has bananas. Like, it just never happens.
yeah, I just it's just I don't know. Like you said, Josh just a straight punching bag. And I'm just like, I don't know. Wasn't a huge fan of it. And normally, funny enough, we're not on Josh's side for most things. Friend of the program, friend of the program.
Yeah.
But on this, I'm on Josh's side, and I felt bad. So,
Yeah, I did too, because fuck Devin and fuck the whole vacation alliance.
I mean, the vacation house, I mean, it's just so bad.
Oh, it's terrible. But
Whatever.
so the bad thing though is that this kind of, like you said, took up all of the club, right? We
Yeah.
didn't really get a whole lot of outfits or drama or fights or anything like that. They kind of just went straight into deliberation, and it was pretty straightforward what was going to happen.
They didn't show much of it, and they really haven't shown this much of it all season. But they did show a clip of Theo and Olivia hooking up, or making out, not hooking up, excuse me. You might have been walking your dog and just missed it.
Were they at the club or at the house?
At the club. It was like one of the first shots of the club. They have not shown any of that, I feel like, this season. And that's kind of like, I feel like I don't want to say, are they a couple now or not?
I think
I know
so.
you're kind of more in the you're more in the Instagram, Twitter spaces out there. Like, you follow all these clowns and stuff, so you know what's going on.
No, we don't. Well, we don't have to litigate the longest active challenge couple list, but I do think they are still together.
God, that's awesome. I mean, speaking of the longest history, who is number one?
God, enough.
All right. Moving forward. We get the little deliberation room, which really isn't much. We just kind of hear everybody's points, and they're all kind of pretty basic. And at that moment, I think Rachel obviously knew even before that meeting who she's voting in.
Yeah.
Don't really have to say much. Laurel played her card like, hey, I have no alliances. I got your back if you got mine. The end. This was, like I said, this was the easiest vote, I think, of this one of the season. Like, you have 3 and 4 both winning, throw them against each other. And like, if you're Rachel, you're off on your own island. You have nothing. Like, you're going in almost every single week, so you might as well stir the pot a little bit. And it was the right move to do. So the eliminations, that we had tonight: Kylan versus Devin and Casey versus Tori. Great for our screens. The Vacation Alliance, head to head, bon voyage. So, do we want to talk about elimination now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, elimination. This one was interessante, but I liked it. I kind of did like it. It gave me vibes. It gave me vibes of it's almost like a mini version of Not So Fast with the chords, but it had a new twist of both sides plugging in, which I still don't understand how difficult that actually is. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Alex. I don't get how they got some chords plugged in, Like they got 34 out of 40 and then 36 and then 40 out of 40. A cord goes in a certain way and
I
that's
think
it.
I think it was like if they got 34 out of 40, I think there were just 6 that weren't plugged in.
But
But then I don't know why you wouldn't just plug them all in before checking.
correct. Like you would know all 40 are good.
I don't know.
So I think
I hated this elimination.
you hated it.
I hated it.
It was kind of smirky.
I mean, like you said, it was kind of like not so fast mixed with like light bright, but I hated it.
Okay, I'm sorry. Like
I just like whose idea was this? Who thought of like I don't know, not so fast. I think is better than this because it's at least like fucking exhausting moving those like huge thick ropes and like these huge clusters that they have. And I don't know. I just to your point, like I don't know exactly what the point of getting 40 things was. It was basically just untangle 40 ropes.
yeah.
Like there was no really sort of puzzle aspect to it. I just was not a fan of this. I know that we're on season 40. I know we're running out of ideas, but this kind of just goes back to a point we've said many times. Like if you can't think of a new elimination idea, just give them a hallway, give them a stick, like give them
Yeah.
something like that. I was watching this and just kind of laughing to myself, like, what the fuck is this elimination?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just thought it was smirky. Um, and I like to apologize to the chat. I've been slow reading everybody's responses and stuff because Restream just completely redid everything, and I don't have the chat up at all times. And now that I'm looking in the chat right now, is Adam Meadows really back in the chat? I mean, this is literally BMFEP now. I mean, Adam Meadows back from the dead. This might be the first time Meadows is what back since episode 2, maybe episode 3. I mean, unbelievable. So, looking at some of the other things in the chat, Tommy wrote LMAO, felt that, plug them all in, then check. Yeah, I like we were saying, I just don't understand. Can't you just plug them all in and then check? Why was it so difficult? I mean, the performance tonight by Devin was one of the worst performances in elimination history. I don't even think he plugged one in. Or no, he did. He plugged one and I got two lights up. So Adam
So
Mito's still coming from me. I mean, that's crazy. I was saying, Alex, I don't know if you heard any of that, but my chat is all different because I have the notes up and I can't see the chat, and I didn't even know Mitos was here. I said first time since like EP2. It's crazy.
yeah, Midas comes in for a cup of coffee. I don't know if we'll hear from him anymore tonight.
No, he probably has a phone call. Wait, do you hear that? Shh. Wait, you smell that too?
Okay. All right.
On the floor, smelling like a dog.
All right. So the guys round, Kylan beats Devin. What do we think? Are we glad Kylan wins? Are we glad Devin goes home? I know we obviously you mentioned Devin did a terrible job at it. But what do we think?
I think tonight was that soda. I think tonight was by far best case scenario with those two going home in that elimination for sure. Like I'm so happy. See ya, Casey. See ya, Devin. Bye bye. Hope to see you never.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you have these. I feel like we do this a lot when you go into elimination. You know the matchups. You think like, what are we rooting for? What's the best case outcome? This was it. From the girl side, it's easy. Um, Casey just brings nothing to the table. Tori brings at least two big things to the table. And from a guy's perspective, Devin has just pissed me off all season. I feel like was it 2 seasons ago? Um, 2 seasons ago, Devin won, right?
Yeah.
Ride or
With
die.
Tora.
And
Yeah.
he was kind of bearable that season
Yeah.
because he was like a middle of the pack competitor. And I feel like early era Devin was annoying just because like his only thing was like I hate bananas. And then he had a couple seasons, including whatever that season was where he won. um, where he was actually kind of enjoyable.
Yeah.
This season, I've hated him. Like every single episode, he's mad. He's trying to act like he's the top dog. Not to mention that his fucking teammate is Jordan Wisely. Like, are you kidding me? And he's just been annoying. So I'm glad he went home. And then, yeah, from the girl side, Casey just doesn't do anything.
Well, I think like Devin, ever since he won, just feels entitled to everything. Like, just
Yeah,
acts like he's the god of the challenge. And like you said, he's not even the best guy on his era on his team. Like
yeah,
Jordan versus him in anything, and Jordan has one hand, can beat him in anything. Like seriously, I don't know if there's an elimination that I would take Devin over Jordan in. Math, check. Holding on for dear life. I think if Jordan was in an elimination, I know tonight Devin did hang on longer. I would still in an elimination head to head, and Jordan knows that. I think Jordan stays on longer. That's just me.
yeah. I mean, I feel like they're similar competitors, but like Jordan is just like
Whoa, similar competitors.
styles.
What do you mean?
I mean that like Jordan is a smart competitor. Devin is also smart.
Okay. That's about the only thing they're similar.
They're also neither of them are also like huge buff guys, but Jordan is just better at he's like 2 to 3 times better at Devin than at anything.
Yeah. Mikey Doctor pole wrestle? Absolutely. I'd take Jordan in a pole wrestle over Devin. Are you kidding me? One hand, no problem. Jordan's a beast. He beat Josh with one hand in the rope pull.
Oh,
Josh is double his size.
I think we move on from Devin though because he's fucking gone. That's a good thing that happened tonight.
God. All right.
What about when do we get to the twist?
God, wait. We got to talk about Casey and Tori, which was, I think, honestly, Alex, after checking the footage, I think it was the closest elimination we've ever seen. God. I mean, are they for real? I mean, come on. Like,
What the hell happened with that?
I don't know. I just think it was I think Tori was like, why wasn't Tori sprinting? That's the other thing. These people are checking. Sprint to the fucking thing. Why are we jogging? It pisses me off. It happened with the whole when they who was it? Horacio and Derek when they throw the little ball up and then they caught him and they're like they're just jogging. It's like these are the last three things. Sprint to the freaking thing. Dive. Hit the thing.
Well, there's plenty of drama with the Derek Horacio elimination, and my guess, based on the way the editing was for this one, I think there's going to be a lot of Twitter drama for Casey versus Tori, which will be fun.
God, I bolted that. So yes, like we said, Tori picks up the win, and Kylan picks up the win. That's the episode, right?
Yeah,
Not so fast. We get the twist, which
the twist.
the challenge Battle of the Eras becomes the challenge Free Agents 2. And I'm so fired up.
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. We've known it was coming for a while, right? We knew that this format was fun from the moment they explained it to us, but we knew it couldn't last forever. It probably didn't last as long as they had hoped because of how bad Era One was. And then I feel like after last episode, they were like, "All right, we got to give Rachel, we got to scramble to give Rachel one win, and then we just have to we have to adapt." And
Mhm.
so they basically say it's an individual game. It's free agents. It was fucking electrifying to watch, and so now we have to start speculating what's going to happen. So they say the targets are still a thing, and so the winners of the elimination, Tori and Kylan, have to pick 3 people of each gender, of the opposite gender. Eras don't matter. You don't have to pick one from each era or whatever. You just have to pick 3 people. And so Tori picks 3 guys. She picks Derek, Ryan, and Bananas, ironically, all from the same era. And then Kylan picks Rachel, Ginny, and Aviv, right?
Mhm.
And And that's what we're left with. It's an individual game. Like I would assume that, on some of these dailies we'll probably get like partners or maybe smaller teams, right? Just for the sake of like kind of like how free agents was. Um, but it's a change in the game. There's no longer eras. TJ tried doing the whole, you're still representing your eras, and so like I'm sure like they'll try to cut to some stupid confessionals about that. Like maybe Corey wins a daily and he's like, I'm repping era 3. Like they'll do that type of shit, but at the end of the day, we know it's an individual game. So what do we think? We're at 9 guys and 9 girls left. I like the timing of that. I feel like they had to. It gives us a little jolt of life heading into episode 10. Do we like it?
Yeah, no, I love it. I think it's gonna be I do think it's gonna turn out to be kind of a tennis match with certain people, and I could see Bananas being in that mix of the tennis match of him winning. Let's say he wins the elimination, right? Let's say he goes in next week. Um, he goes into elimination, he wins, he picks 3 new people. Those 3 new people, let's just say it's Jordan and Josh and who else? Give me one other person.
Kylan.
Kylan. Those 3 guys he chooses. Well, whoever wins that is throwing Bananas right back in, and it's just going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
So whoever wins,
Well,
go ahead.
see, I was thinking even before that of like, what happens now if like Bananas wins the daily?
Oh,
'Cause
shit.
that's been the thing. Like so far, there's been a target on each team, and the teams are all competing against each other. So every time we know
Ooh,
one winner, one last place, 2 last place. Now there's just 9 guys, 9 girls, and there's 3 targets for each spread across them.
hear me out. Well, I'm just going to use Bananas as the example. If Bananas wins the daily, he's automatically safe, and then you already have the elimination matchup go. Whoever wins the daily chooses which 2 guys go in for an elimination.
So,
If it's not one of the other 2, obviously.
well, it would basically be no matter what, right? Because
No,
if a target wins, then he essentially chooses the other 2 guys that are going in.
correct.
And if like Jordan, for example, wins, then he
He gets
basically,
to choose between the 3 guys which 2 guys go in,
yeah.
which
But
I would fold.
But think about that would make sense, but then think about what would happen if like are we just completely dividing the genders? So like what if Bananas wins, right? So a target for the guys wins, but then Kara, she's not a target, wins for the girls. Like does Kara get to pick which 2 girls go in, but then doesn't have a say in the
Ooh,
guys because the guys are like it's just
yeah.
I
It
don't, I
could
don't
be
know exactly what's going to happen here.
I think it's about to be very dice and that's where I'm all for it.
I know, and that makes episode 10 so much more interesting to see how it plays out. And I feel like at the end of the day, we have enough faith in the target system to
Mhm.
know that like the guy that's going to go home next week is one of those 3 guys. Same
Yep.
thing for the girls. We don't know what happens if they win, don't know what's going to happen in between, but like I don't feel like there will be any sort of shift unless you got a Tony-esque situation,
Explain?
but that still wouldn't matter, right? Like
Revenge sales?
If Jordan won the challenge and he couldn't decide which guy to send in,
Oh, come on. Get
that
out.
wouldn't happen. But I'm excited.
Yes, I'm very
And
interested now.
I'm excited that it's like I think this was a good time to do it because now we have 9 guys, we have 9 girls. We had what 9 episodes of the era versus era, like I'm in this era but I don't like my team and I'm working with other people in this era, and now it's just like make it kind of a clean slate, but at the same time like everybody knows who everybody has kind of been working with, and like are Bananas and Jordan gonna come together and form this super alliance, or are those 2 just going to be the top dogs? And like Theo is still here. Theo's awesome. Like what's going to happen with Kara and Laurel? Like they've been on the same era the whole time, so they've had to like literally do the dailies together. Now
Yeah,
that they're competing against each other. Like there's just a lot of different ways this can go.
I know. It's awesome. But
And I feel like the first part of the season had kind of run its course, right? Because you
yeah,
kind of almost eliminated an entire era. You would kind of where it was running stale with like era threes working with era four. Devin's getting mad at everybody. Josh is crying. Bananas is getting mad at Ryan. Like it was all entertaining, but I feel like you couldn't do many more episodes of that.
let me ask you this. And I know we always joke about it. The chaos and all this stuff. Now that we're through 9 episodes, give me a word to describe the first 9 episodes. And what's the next word that we are officially on?
Does it have to start with a C?
No, it can be anything.
Well, okay. First 9 episodes, I would say entertaining.
Okay.
I know that's not a super creative word,
Okay.
but I just think it's been entertaining because I don't think like any particular aspect of it has been like an A plus plus. Like I think some of the eliminations have been kind of weak, some of the drama has been kind of predictable, but overall, I feel like almost every single episode has given us something that's, you know, is Tony going to go in? Like Derek and Horacio, how close was that? Like
Ooh.
CT and Emily got upset in the same episode. Like I feel like each episode has brought its own little entertaining moments. Some of it has been related to, the daily. Some of it's been related to elimination. We had the Cara Laurel stuff. Like it's just been entertaining to watch.
I think realistically, if I could put a word to it, I think episodes 1 through 9 are very consistent.
Wow.
Don't you think so, Alex?
That's a great word, Trev.
Thank you. Thank you. I think they're very consistent.
What was the next part of your question? The next, how many
What,
episodes?
what era are we in now? Are we back on course correction?
I think no. I think now it's. I think now. I think you said it earlier. I think it's chaos.
Oh, yes, I like
I
it.
think it's chaos because this whole the whole first 9 episodes we were waiting for this to happen. We were waiting for the other shoe to drop. We were waiting for the season to turn. Now it's turned, and it's just going to be a shit show for the next however many episodes it takes to get us to the final.
Yeah. Yeah, Mikey, we better not be having 25 episodes. I mean, if we have 25 episodes, that's what? We're on episode 9, 16 weeks. That's 4 months.
No. We're not talking about
November, December, January. I mean, that's almost February.
no.
No. That's seriously.
All right, so
Oh, come on.
all right, so real quick, I do want to do this, but I don't want to take up a ton of time.
Okay.
I want to do a quick, not even a power rating, just like recapping the 9 guys and the 9 girls that are left and how we kind of think about them.
Okay.
So the 9 guys that we have left, 4 from era 2, 2 from era 3, and then 3 from era 4. So we have.
I'm gonna say this. I think we're in tiers. Okay.
Okay.
I think tiers. Bananas Jordan versus everyone else for the guys. For the girls, I think it's Laurel, Cara, and I think close behind is Tori.
Wow, I was going to say Ginny and Rachel.
I just
So
I think Rachel. I would put Rachel above Jenny. Jenny hasn't. I mean, she's
Okay,
won eliminations.
let's do the girls first.
Okay.
I feel like there's a clear top 5.
Okay.
Which
Which are
is Cara, Laurel, Ginny, Tori, and Rachel.
okay. That's fair.
I think you can make a case for any one of them to be ranked in any order, which leaves us with a bottom 4 of Aviv, Naya, Michelle, and Olivia. Like I feel when you look at the top 5 and the bottom 4, I feel like there's a pretty clear line there, right?
And I think that's very fair. And I almost want to say in that next tier, that you're gonna have everybody but Aviv. I think Aviv's last. And it's not necessarily her ability. I just haven't seen much of her.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like I tend to like if we had to rank them all, I'd probably put Aviv last, but also
I haven't seen enough. That's the only reason why. I'm not saying she's bad.
yeah.
She's
And
never
like Michelle is good at the social game. She's good at like, maintaining a cool head, but like she's not physical, she's not strong.
the social game is out the window now, though.
Well,
With
yeah, but
her.
we don't know yet.
Oh, we know.
I don't know. Like so all right. So for the girls, that's fair, right? The top five, bottom four feel like that line in between them is pretty thick. Nobody's kind of going up or above.
Yeah.
So for the guys, let's start with the bottom for the guys.
Okay.
So
Josh?
on that bottom tier, I feel like it's Derek, Ryan, and Josh.
Fair.
Is that fair?
Yep.
And then above those, I would say it's kind of that very misfit-esque middle of the pack, which is Corey, Nehemiah, who's been good this season, and Kylan.
Yeah. I think that's fair. And then the top two just being Bananas and Jordan.
Yes, but then where does Theo go?
Ooh, I forgot about Theo. I think Theo actually I would put I love Theo. And I think Kylan's sneaky good too.
Theo is almost like on his own tier, I feel like. I feel like in most things he's on the tier with Bananas and Jordan, but I feel like with the format changing right now in such a drastic way, Bananas and Jordan have the experience to know what the fuck to do. I
Mhm.
feel like Theo might be just a step behind, but I do feel like Theo is still better than Corey, Nehemiah, and Kyle.
That's fair. I'd put Nehemiah last out of the that group, but barely.
Yeah, I feel like that group is all pretty close.
Correct.
And then it's just kind of Jordan and Bananas are like the two top dogs, and they really have been ever since CT went home.
Yeah. I mean, I know some people in the chat hate Bananas and stuff, but he runs the show. It is unbelievable how dumb these people are season after season. Throw him in every week. Every single week, throw him in. And he just somehow just gets through every single time. So, I mean, depending on how this elimination or how we're set up now for the guys, if it ever comes down to a vote with like the three guys have to vote each other, I mean, Bananas is going in because
Yeah,
they're Brian and what's his name are just gonna Derek are just gonna save each other. So
yeah.
so
I'm so excited for this twist.
I know it's interesting. It's so interesting. Like I said, we could do another podcast on just theories and stuff of what's gonna happen, and I'm excited. So even we got the classic midseason trailer. Fire me up.
Oh, it's awesome, and
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to black jerseys.
I like that.
I
Free
like
agent
that too.
esque.
Yes.
I also want to say something tonight, and I don't know if anybody else thought this. Did we have more commercials than normal?
Oh, commercials are terrible.
It was it felt so long and like I just felt like we only had the challenge on for like 60 minutes and like 30 minutes of commercials. It was crazy tonight. But I don't know. So, anything else from tonight's episode before we get into some segments?
I loved it. I think we'll do some more or a couple more closing thoughts at the very end. But yeah, I think we move on to some segs.
Yeah, so the people who got voted in with the twist, just a reminder, Derek, Ryan, Bananas, and then for the females, it was Rachel, Aviv, and Jenny. Jenny just getting tossed around.
Sad.
Sad. All right, segments. What do we got?
All right. So the first one, wasn't planning on doing this tonight, but we have to do it because I made a promise that once we got the little mid-season trailer, we would do a quick little revisit to our Stir the Prop. So again, this is from our season 40 preview before the
Mhm.
season started. We all gave out props, and we're just going to revisit them real quick. Maybe we'll do this one more time in like 4 or 5 episodes, and then just save it till the very end.
Okay.
So the first prop, which is the one I gave, we can't really do anything with it, I feel like, right now, which was number of people to win. The
Okay.
line was set at 3.5. I
Ooh,
still feel like it's up in the air.
it is.
I guess the twist maybe would lead you to go under because they're no longer teams.
Yeah,
feel
I
like
don't know.
I feel like 4 people to go hit the over would have been if, like, era 2 won with 4 people on their team. But now that's not really a thing. But who knows? They might re-team them at some point, right?
I don't know, Jim. I'm liking the under in that ASAP. So
Okay. The next one was Andy's, which we added one tonight, which was Josh cries.
I think we're at 2 for the year.
Are we only 2?
It's very low. What was the over under? Like 6.5?
No, it was 3.5
Oh, I think we're at 2.
tonight, and then what? A couple episodes ago.
Yeah, because I said a couple episodes ago he was close, but we were like, if it went off air, like if you check the behind the scenes, like I guaranteed he cried, but it wasn't on the broadcast. So
The one
I think
tonight,
he's at 2.
the one tonight was classic.
Oh, it was awesome.
We almost got 2 tonight
I know.
because we got one in the confessional.
No,
right?
it's 1 per episode. I remember us discussing this. It was 1 per episode. We're not adding.
All right, so we're at 2 for the Josh cries.
Yes.
The next one was 3.5. This was yours. Product placement.
Product placement. I think we're only at.
Sponsorships. So we have Gladiator 2.
What was the over under at?
3.5.
Oh fuck, that's way too high.
That's the only one, right?
I think so.
I don't know if we're gonna have any more.
3.5's high.
Yes, exactly.
Damn, that was.
We'll see. That line has moved down a couple if we're doing the live lines. All right, next one was just a group one. Yes or no, which the answer is no, at least not yet. Fights where someone has gone home or the security shows up to break it up.
0 so far. Actually, the life jacket.
Oh,
security was definitely there.
I was gonna say Cara Laurel.
Oh,
Security
was 100% there if you watched the life jacket throw last week. 100% they were there.
All right, we got to take this one back to the
It was weak. It was very weak.
It was weak.
We might have to go VAR.
Yeah, we're going VAR on that one. All right, next segment. Should we do PP or ALWR first?
I don't care. Surprise me.
All right, let's do. Do you have Pluto up yet or not?
Oh, I'm pulling Pluto up?
We'll both pull it up.
All right, I'm pulling it up right now.
But in the meantime, we can do the other segment.
All right, it's loading on my screen right now.
All right, let's do the other segment.
Next on the challenge. Devin talking to Corey right now.
Wait, all right, so are we doing Pluto?
Oh, yeah, we're just going on Pluto.
We're doing Pluto playback. All right, so Pluto playback, again, for our listeners, this is a throwback episode. We're doing old segments that we've done in the past. This one is Pluto playback. I've always kind of liked Pluto playback. Pluto TV is a streaming service, probably, 5 years old now or something?
Yeah.
And it has all these absurd channels that just have like random shit on all the time. And they have a challenge channel, which is just 24/7 the challenge. Do you remember watching this back in the day? And we would just kind of turn it on in the background, like at all times, like just come home and throw it on and be like, oh, fucking Cutthroat's on today. Let's watch an episode of Cutthroat.
So for your knowledge, Samsung just has Pluto TV just built in. So every time I turn my TV on, it's literally the challenge that comes on. So I'm on channel 2722, which is literally the challenge Pluto button. So I'm always watching the challenge. Right now we're on, looks like Spies, Lies, and Allies.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
CT and Emmy picking up the win in the daily. They're showing the. Are you watching it right now?
I'm watching it. It looks like they're doing a recap of last episode.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Looks
Yes.
like Big T might be going in.
God,
Ashley,
this was an awesome segment back in the day because
who is that?
who, Jeremiah?
No, the girl. Jeremiah going down. Here we go.
See, this is incredible. We have Huey. CT is looking skinny. Oh my God. No wonder he won this season.
Jeremiah and Priscilla. Jesus.
Is that Ed?
Berna and Huey went home.
Ed from the Circle?
Oh my God.
I saw Kyle in there, Corey. Wait, Jeremiah won an elimination?
God, remember this? This is the whole new partner season. Who's Corey's partner?
Oh my God.
Not this again.
Didn't Berna win money last season?
Yes. God, the new partners.
See, we have to do Pluto playback another time because it's just so much better when you get a Glory Days season.
Yeah.
Not Spies, Lies, and Allies, but it's
That's the best part because it's always shifted. So like I guarantee next week we're probably gonna be close to like the Rivals era. Rivals
yes,
like
because
it's gonna be like
it's literally nonstop. So like the season will change over within like a day and a half.
yeah, you can literally sit here and watch an entire season on loop.
I love Pluto.
God, Pluto's nuts. All right, what else you got?
All right, let's do another old segment, and this is going to be Adam's Little West rant.
Wait, before we go into Adam's Little West rant, we got to give the people who is Corey's partner during this part. We have to figure this out real quick.
So on Spies, Lies, and Allies?
Yes, we have to give Mikey the Doctor the who's Corey's partner.
All right, let's do a process of elimination.
Challenge.
Oh, what about Tori? Is it Tori?
Tori just got traded.
Who's her partner now?
Jeremiah.
God, these seasons with the fucking partner switching were brutal. Remember we did the math and it was like you ended a season and there was literally like 70 different combinations of partners. Just like, how are we supposed to follow this?
Bombshell Battle is what this game is.
Who is Corey's partner?
I'm looking it up. Bombshell. Oh, here we go. I got it.
Oh, he's talking.
Episode 9. Episode 9. Wait.
Are we sure it's not Tori?
No, it's not.
Is it Priscilla? Because
no, it's Bettina.
Oh dear God.
Oh God.
How could I forget those?
That's the partner.
All right. Are we ready for the next segment?
Yeah. What do we got? What's the segment called?
This is called Adam's Little West Rant. And this is from a segment from back in the day we did a few times where basically one of our co-hosts, Adam Meadows, former co-host, former friend of the program, huge West fan, just sucks off West to no end. And this is maybe done on seasons that West was on, maybe wasn't on. And we would just give him a couple minutes, just talk anything related to West.
All right. Well,
we're going to do the same thing tonight.
Let's hit the music.
Adam's Little West rant. West is the best. Adam's Little West rant. West better than the rest. 2 wins, 4 finals, lots of jokes. Elimination wins, he has the most. Wes Bergman, my favorite guy, always making bananas cry. Adam's Little West rant. Adam's Little West rant.
Well, alrighty, Adam's Little West rant. What do we got?
Oh, it feels great to be back doing another ALWR. It's been too long. I mean, too long indeed. But you know what? I made that jingle a while ago. I actually think some of those statistics are off. I think he just has more finals, more wins, still the elimination record. He's just truly the GOAT. And I think we're starting to see why that is on season 40, even though he's not there. A couple of data points. I know Westfall will love the fact that I'm using data to describe his GOAT status, but he's being mentioned on this season more than anybody that's not on it. Do you remember the trivia episode where almost half of the guesses were Wes because they were just like, I don't know who did that, but I think my odds are good that if I guess Wes.
Well,
You can just see a gaping hole the size of Mr. Weston Bergman. Now, which size is that? It could be bulky Wes, could be roided up Wes. Skinny Wes is probably the worst of all of them, or it could be slightly chubby Wes that we're seeing on House of Villains right now. Whatever size hole that is, it needs to be filled. It should have been filled by Wes. We're missing out on him on season 40. And it's a shame because he just makes me smirk to no end. GOAT of the challenge, GOAT of reality TV, you could say. Also, one of probably the GOAT recurring guest on Stir the Pot. People do forget he's been on an episode before. I believe it was the Anissa Legends Tour. I also think he and Bananas gave out MVP, LVP votes. So hopefully they can join, the 10-year reunion, which is probably coming up here in about 12 months or so. But anyways, this was another ALWR. Bye.
I mean,
Wow.
We're back.
Wes is back.
Wes is back. So he's on a show right now.
He's on a show called House of Villains.
Is that the show that Bananas was on?
Yes.
Oh, and CT. Wasn't CT on it?
No, they were both on Traders.
Oh, okay. Classic.
Yeah, Bananas is just doing the whole reality TV tour.
It's awesome. All right, what else we got?
All right, next one is this day in challenge history. Just a quick trivia question. On this day in challenge history, War of the Worlds 2, the episode title was Saving Private Esther. All right,
I don't know this season. I don't know why we keep doing this.
Who did Theo beat in an elimination? Elimination was called Running Riot. It's a very popular challenger.
Wes?
Hasn't been on in a couple seasons. They were on the Pluto playback season.
Corey? No, Corey wasn't on War of the Worlds. I don't know. I don't watch War of the Worlds is. I don't watch War of the Worlds anymore, and I don't want to watch that season anymore.
All right, it was Kyle.
It was who?
Kyle.
Oh, God.
Seeing, I'm still watching Pluto right now. Seeing Devin and Corey talking on Spies, Lies, and Allies, and then they were just teammates on this.
Do you see Devin's confessional? He's wearing a suit.
God, these guys suck.
God, so bad.
All right.
MVP,
LVP?
Yeah, MVP, LVP time. You guys know what to do. Order for tonight's episode will be decided by you all. But before we do that, I did get a video from Andy. Should I play it or should I not?
So I think we play it after we give our picks.
So
So I think we do it after our picks. And if he gives MVP, LVP picks in the video, he only gets them if they're not repeat picks.
I'm fine with that.
So if we say TJ and he gives his MVP for TJ, then he doesn't get it because we usually don't allow repeats.
Okay, that's fine. My MVP, I guess I'm first. Trev, Alex is the order of tonight. My MVP tonight is going to be Rachel.
Ooh.
I think her being the only person in Era 1, her winning, her throwing in the Vacation Alliance, so 2 of them going home, perfect. And to top it all off, she thought she was all alone. Well, she is still alone, but everyone's alone, and it's a free agents game. So from a gameplay stance, she went from being the only person on her team to now everybody's kind of on the same playing field now, and there's no more teams, no nothing. I think Rachel had a huge W tonight, and I'm excited. Happy for her too.
She did. The only thing is she's a target now. I wish she wasn't because I think she deserves to go on at least for a few more episodes. But yeah, I mean, she did what 10 people on her team could not do, which was win a challenge. And good for her for doing it.
MVP, who you got?
All right, real quick before I get my MVP, I'm still watching Pluto, and I forgot that this season they referred to TJ as their handler. He wasn't the host; he was their handler.
Oh my!
It's just insane. Okay, all right, my MVP. I was thinking about Rachel. I'm gonna go instead with production.
Ooh, with the switch up.
I'm giving credit where credit's due. I thought production had a good episode tonight, both within the episode, like they're doing kind of smirky things with they said like when somebody from the alliance dies, they eat their souls, and then like the souls were going in their mouth. And then they had like the dictionary thing. If you look Devin up in the dictionary, they cut to that. Devin or Kylan was like a cyclops or whatever. Like they had a lot of little stupid little editing things that just kind of made me smirk. And they also, we've talked about it, like delivered this twist at the right time. It was fun. They got the Era 1 to win. And I just think they're setting us up for a really good, strong second half here. And so I'm giving credit where it's due. I'm going with production for my MVP.
Wow, a rare production MVP. But I don't want to give too much credit, but I will give him one clap. Okay, I thought you would join me, but it's cool. I will give him one clap, like I said, and hats off. We're back, free agents.
Absolutely.
They know what I love. LVP, who you got? Or what
my LVP, I'm gonna go with Devin.
Ooh, that was
He's just been punchable all season. Like I said, for me, Devin has kind of come in waves. There's been a lot of versions of him that I didn't like. There's been some versions of him that I did like. I did not like him on this season. Even till the very end where TJ, said, you guys get to decide a final vote and who wins. And Devin's like, all right, let's go. Bananas, eat my ass, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm just tired of it. I'm glad he went home tonight.
So my LVP tonight is kind of Devin as well. It's the Vacation Alliance, which nobody got more affected than that. And I actually think it's my pick. But something I want to bring up, is this the last time, after this performance and this elimination, the last time we see Casey on the challenge? What does she bring to this table? And after tonight, what does she bring to this table? I think it's the end. I think how the season went for her, I don't think we'll see her again.
See, I mean, I sure hope we don't, but you just never know. They have to fill out a cast of, this season was 20 girls. It's not usually that high, but like, I don't know. I would have thought that we didn't need her on season 40, but they're filling out a cast and they're like, we need girls who are either entertaining or good at the show. She's not entertaining. She's not like amazing at the show, but like she is athletic. She knows how to like compete in physical things. What?
Look at your screen.
What, the mud pit?
Yeah, do you see who's talking?
Ed from the circle.
Goat. Yeah, I think she's done. Also, those football clips. She played for the San Diego Chargers?
Her running in those pads.
That's crazy.
Like Kyler Murray.
Oh. But yeah, my LVP, Vacation Alliance, I mean, they just got blown up tonight. And I love it. And then on top of everything, it's an individual game now. So they're all on their own island now.
And honestly, Tori and Josh, the remaining members of that stupid alliance, like, they're the best suited to play this game. And to play like an individual game where they can adapt, like make sort of quick alliances with everybody. Casey is clueless. She has no one else to rely on but the Vacation Alliance and Nani. And then Devin is just like an asshole. So like Tori and Josh, I feel like are the best suited for that. Although I was kind of surprised Tori picked Bananas for a target. But
yeah, a little surprised. All right. Hold off on honorable mention. Should I play Andy's video now?
Yeah, let's see it. Remember, we set the rules.
All right. Let me see. I have no idea what he's about to say. Mikey Doctor. Oh, shit. Mikey Doctor writes, who says they play football more? Who says they play football more? Casey or Fezzi? Honestly, Casey played for the San Diego Chargers. Fezzi played for the University of Tennessee. Those are two different. I mean, one's a college team, one's a pro team. I mean, Casey was running routes with Austin Eckler. I know somebody loves Austin Eckler. Keenan Allen probably back in the day. Mike Wallace, was it? Or who was the other? Woodson? Yeah, Williams. I don't know. They all blend together. I mean, fair play to Casey. I mean, I didn't know she was a Charger. Fezzi, on the other hand, was going 4-12 or 4-8 in the SEC year after year. Like, he stinks. Chattanooga. So, with that being said, let's listen to Andy and see what he has to say about tonight's episode.
Trev, Alex, AWLs, it's Andy here. Unfortunately, unable to make it to tonight's EP. Wish I could be there. I'm all in for this season.
I have to stop for 1 second. Are you there, Alex?
Yeah, I can hear.
Why is Andy's voice so deep right now? Is he trying to talk deeper? This is definitely not his normal voice.
I don't know the exact answer to that, but I would say that it might be related to the fact that his little buddy Derek is no longer on the season.
God, listen to him. Look how deep his voice is.
Trev, Alex, AWLs, it's Andy here.
He almost sounds like G chord, like, hey guys, how's it going? Like,
I think he's trying to do the Sean Yeager.
Exactly.
He might have an air horn. Well, you got to listen for an air horn in the background.
Unbelievable. All right, back to our daily program.
Trev, Alex, AWLs, it's Andy here. Unfortunately, unable to make it to tonight's EP. Wish I could be there. I'm all in for this season, even though it doesn't look like it. You know, just sitting here, we got the beach, we got the water. What can you do? But I'm not on Paula and Kari's little $5,000 vacation thing, so I want that on the record. But I did want to chime in and give my MVP, LVP picks for tonight. MVP, I haven't seen the episode. I'm going to say Bananas. He's been having arguably a top 3 season for his career at this point, in my opinion. I think he keeps it up tonight. I think he's a target. I honestly don't remember. But I think he's going to keep doing Bananas things, and that happens tonight as well. My LVP for tonight is going to be me. Hand up. This is the second time in a couple weeks that I've missed a pod. That's on me. I know that. I'll take the LVP. God, light. So I give the LVP to myself. I'll be back next week. It's going to be, I'll be making up for not being able to join tonight, but hope you guys are still keeping the vibes high. If you haven't mentioned Mario Party yet, I did want to make a comment that tonight's daily did remind me of Mario Party. So I want that on the record. And I'm pretty sure my streak is still active as well. So I'm glad my streak and Mario Party are both alive and well. I'll be back next week. Love you guys. Shout out Duffy. Bye-bye.
Andy himself couldn't be with us tonight. That was his message. You know, he's somewhere with Fezzi in his basketball tournament. I don't know where that he's at, but that was Andy's MVP LVP tonight. Andy sounded a little. I have no idea. The light in his eye. I mean, that was an all-time one. So
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I think I did see some postings of Fessy hosting another tournament, and they had doing the play-by-play Derek and Jaeger. So it all kind of connects.
that's where his voice went. He was probably on broadcast with him. He was a little sideline bitch.
And if you ever have to say, I'm not on Paulie and Kara's cruise, it might mean you're on the cruise.
God, I think he's on the cruise.
I think he is.
Crazy. Anything else, Alex, from tonight's episode?
I'm good. I think this episode was one of the best of the season, and I am absolutely fired up for not just episode 10, but the entire second half here. We got to change. I'm excited for it. Let's go.
There we go. With that being said, thank you guys for listening to a brand new Stir the Pod podcast show. I've been your host, Trevor. You can follow us on Twitter at Stir the Pod. You can follow us on Instagram at Stir_the_pod. Thank you guys. Love you guys. Shout out Duffy.